Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandrago's Cave. Today we are gonna be talking about Shamrock from One Piece. I will be talking about the spoilers, obviously, up to the very latest episode, that is 1168. So if you are not up to date with the manga, I invite you to click here, so you will see other video, older, that you are not spoiled of what's going on at the moment with the manga. I will try to make sure to put maybe a older one, okay? So, why do I wanna draw Shamrock? Because I think he is good. I think originally he was bad, because he is raised in Marijoa with the rest of the bad guys, but per latest information of Shanks being sometime in Marijoa, per 1168 saying that Shanks left, and all these things, notes that we already knew, I want to believe so far that Shamrock is good, okay? He has been converted to the good side, you know? So let's try to, more or less, we have this space to work today, okay? So I want to do a Shamrock, maybe my style a little bit as well, a little bit caricature, a little bit One Piece, okay? So you know that the characters here in One Piece are very long in terms of when they are more realistic looking, like these guys. Is not something like Vista or Hosu or Whitebeard that they look a little bit disproportionate. So I want to try to make it a little bit more cartoony in the sense of, let's see how it's gonna look, okay? Like this. I'm taking as a reference the image where Shamrock is walking next to Shanks in the previous episode, so that can be very interesting as well for a drawing. So what do I think happened here? We know Shanks was with Roger for many years, and when the crew disbanded, he had a chat with Buggy. Buggy wanted him to be the next Pirate King. He wanted him to chase for the One Piece, to kind of take on the role that their captain, Roger, had for some time, okay? And Shanks, up until one point, we could say, yeah, you know, he looks like he's gonna be the heir of Roger in that sense, the legacy of Roger in that sense. And with this conversation, he says to Buggy, no, you know, you go your way, I go my way, you know, become your own captain, I will do the same, I don't think I'm ready for this, I want to do other things. And he goes on his own. We know that being quite young, like Luffy, he meets Usopp, the rest of the guys, not all of them, but probably the main guys from the crew are met at that point, okay? So we know as well that between these moments of being an adult pirate and being a teenager starting his own crew, we know that he has this break where he's in Marijoa, where he meets his blood family, let's say, his real family in that sense. And as per latest information, we see that he is some sort of apprentice. The Japanese translation is like an apprentice of a god knight, basically. Is the previous step that if you do the missions that you are assigned, if you do what they say that you have to do, you may become a God's Knight, okay, if there is a spot. So we know this is happening with Shanks. And because he has this arrogance in 1167, because he has this kind of bad feeling, you see in him like a bad feeling, like obviously, I think all of this, like everyone, this is an act that he's putting to trick Marijoa in general, to trick his family, to trick the other God's Knights, to trick the bad guys into gathering information, positioning his pieces to be able to move. I think he learned a lot from Roger, and he wants to follow the steps on Roger, but in another way. All of this in One Piece is about generations, like King Harald, like Rocks, for example, like Garp. Those guys couldn't do the change. For example, Garp is trying to change the Marines from inside. Then Dragon, that is the next in line, is trying to change the Marines from outside, like in battle, like in confrontation. And the next one that is Luffy is trying to change the Marines in nothing related to this. He's just trying to be free, and by changing the world, everything will change around him. Like with freedom and happiness and you know, friendship, everything will change. So each one of the generations, we see very remarked that they have a way of working, let's say, a way of trying to achieve what they need to achieve. For me, Shanks is a strategist. I named the latest video, I titled the latest video in the channel that I'm going to put here as Saved by the Strategist, because I think all of this is a plan that he has, obviously. And in this plan, I think he's ready to meet a possible brother, is ready to meet his father, is ready to meet everyone, even Imu, and try to play them. So I say that Shanks went into Marejua. Shamrock up to that point was groomed to be the baddest of the baddest, you know, like very, very bad guy. And then the meeting of Shanks, in my opinion, you can call this a little bit of, I don't know, fanfic or whatever you want to call it, but that is what I think it is happening at the moment here, okay? And later in a couple of episodes, if it is revealed, it will not surprise me. I think Shamrock, when Shanks shows up, he realizes that, oh, actually, I have a brother, he looks like me. We are twins, so in theory there is a lot of lore that I don't know if it is real or not. Maybe if there are twins here in the channel watching the videos, you can you know, write your opinions in the show more section, in the comment section. But they say that there is this some sort of connection, no, with the twins, that sometimes one knows what the other is thinking and sometimes the other behaves one way, blah blah blah. I don't understand about that, but this is a common knowledge, okay? So this is a common knowledge, and even you see in many stories, in many movies, like even in real life, that the twins, for example, one is better at maths, so he will ask the other one, like, oh, go to my exam because I'm very bad in this subject and I need you to pass it for me. You know, they always depict this in the movies. Even if this is not a real thing, obviously, it is a depiction, it is a myth, it is a lore regarding the twins. One Piece is all about lore, and I always said it a thousand times that this is my favorite thing about One Piece. All is lore, all is connected, all has a reason to be here, and if they are twins, there must be a connection. If they are looking the same, twins, there must be a connection. If they meet again after a whole life not seeing each other, they should have some sort of interest in what is going on here. So I think Shanks had a chat with Shamrock. Shamrock was very happy and excited about meeting his brother, even if he is evil, let's say, at that point, a teenager Shamrock. And this makes him basically believe in Shanks and do whatever Shanks wants him to do. I think even if Shamrock, as I understand by the texts, looks like Shamrock of the twins is the older, but I think Shanks, with the maturity that he may have because living with pirates and seeing so many things that he have seen, maybe Shamrock is taking him as, you know, let's say in this case, the boss. Like, oh, okay, whatever you want me to do, I will do for you. Because he loves the brother. I think there is a foreshadowing with all of this in Sanji's story with Judge, with the brothers, with the sisters, and with the sister and everything, where we have some of the sons being bad, some of the sons being good, and these connections that we may. I want to make him happy. Actually, I want to make him like smile here, like this. Obviously, all of these lines I'm gonna be define them later properly, but now just for reference, we have some lines here, okay? So, as I was saying, if you actually pay attention of what's going on online, a lot of people is suggesting that these two guys are using other guys' clothing. I don't think this is accurate at all. I've been checking many drawings from the manga and from the covers where Shamrock is shown, the swords and everything, and it doesn't look like that in my opinion. I think the Gods Knights style, it is a style, and they have different outfits, that they are all of them similar, and but they are not the same, okay? Even if Shanks, for example, in this moment when they are walking together, Shanks is wearing a close-up type of coat, and Shamrock is wearing this kind of open neck type of V-neck type of shape here, and in real life Shanks is the one who wears this outfit. I think Shanks is just remaking himself to camouflage in this hostile environment, okay? So he is not discovered, let's say, okay? That is my opinion, that is what I think is happening. I wouldn't understand it in another way if Oda is not gonna give us proper reasons for that to happen, okay? So, important thing is, and I mentioned it in the face reveal, I think, that I'm gonna put the face reveal commentary here, like 10 episodes ago, 12 episodes ago. Shamrock, the part of Shamrock that is first is Sham, okay? Sham means in Japanese some sort of deception, something that is not true, something that is not believable. So I think the whole concept of Shamrock as such is a facade, that from the moment that he meets Shanks, and he is obviously loving his brother because I have this connection, this sibling, this twin connection, since that moment he is embracing his good side, okay? I think as well, if you analyze what is a shamrock actually, this is like a clover, like a 3-leaf clover type of plant. We know there is a character as well in One Piece called Clover, that is the one from Ohara, the one that we saw that it was an adventurer as well, a pirate, and very famous, and it was captured many times, and he always escaped. That is not random, okay? If someone is called Luffy, and the other one is called Luffy, is very similar names, that they may have some sort of connection, okay? Or if someone is called one name and the same name in another translation, in another country, in another language, let's say, there may be a connection there, okay? So maybe Shamrock somehow has some information on some connection with the Poneglyphs, with the Clover story, with Nico Robin story, and all of these things. I do not discard that concept, okay? I know this is a little bit crazy. I just want you to express as well how you feel about this proposal, I would say, these ideas, and feel free to put it in the show more section, in the comment section, so we can discuss it. Not because I say it has to be true, and not because anyone else says it online, otherwise it needs to be true as well. We will need to wait to see what Oda wants. The only one who has the power to define this is Oda, and up until now he is not doing it yet. So he is just playing a game. You need to remember Elbaf, Egghead, Imu concept is all about games like Domi Reversi, etc. And we are seeing this with the powers that she is or he is displaying at the moment. But probably the whole game is regarding the marijuana in general, the world government in general, the concept of board games, the concept of multiplayers and different games. It can be related to this, okay? Let's do the hand like this. It has open, it's talking like this, like with the brother, like, you know, this and that. And he has the cape, this kind of cloak at the back. He's wearing the coat, and then he's wearing this second layer that we're gonna do like this, okay? And then the boots here, we do this leg as well, okay, like this. I want to try to make sure that I don't go out of the screen much. Just I need to do the shoe, and if we need to extend it a little bit for the proportion, I will need to extend it anyway. So I think this is the size, even if we have the feet out, this has to be the size, okay? And then this one here, he's walking, very sassy, very stylish. I like the style of the God Knights, especially of these two guys. Oda made them very kind of rich looking, you know, like rich kids, and that is very nice. So, talking about the connection of the siblings, of the twins, talking about the concept of the name that could be like a fake rocks, like a sham rock, like something that is not real, something that is deceitful. Talking about the concept of Shamrock as a word, with the connection with clover, being a clover basically of 3 leaves, and then the devotion that he may have towards the brother after, oh my god, maybe my father didn't even tell me I was a twin. I always felt strange, and this is something that is new to me, and I want to explore it. I want to embrace it if possible. So with Shanks' cleverness, but for Shanks, because he may be utilizing his brother for his own needs, but at the same time maybe they had an honest conversation, and maybe they managed to, yes, find an agreement and say, yes, I understand you, I'm going to help you. Or maybe he's just using him, okay? So another thing I want you to think about, okay, is basically we here and online, everyone was crazy when the Marineford War happened, and when we saw Shanks showing up there to stop the war. So basically, why we were all surprised, or why everyone in the One Piece world as well was surprised. This is basically because 3 days before that fight, that war is happening, we know that Shanks clashed with Kaido. Kaido wanted to go to Marineford, and he stopped him, okay? And then in 3 days, that he can't go from Wano to the other half of the Grand Line in 3 days. So a lot of people, even myself, we were speculating, is there some sort of time travel or kind of teleport, like the warp fruit that one of the Blackbeard guys has at the moment, Banaujer. It is something that maybe one of the guys in the Shanks' crew has, and it could have been a very valid reason. I think maybe at that point, that's years ago, probably Oda didn't know what he wanted to do with this yet. He was thinking, because even if you see everything really nicely planned, you cannot plan all of this as much. So some of the things we know because he confirmed, like the supernovas, like the Shichibukais, he's doing them as he goes, and that is normal. You can't plan so much a story. You can plan the end, the beginning, some key points, and then you need to fill something that is not paramount. Let's say, like, you can play with Shanks. The paramount storyline is the storyline with Luffy, okay? The storyline with Luffy is the one that we want to see, yes or yes, nicely arranged. But there are secondary characters. Shanks, even if it is very big, very important, he is a secondary character. Law is a secondary character at a different level, okay? So Zorro is a main character within Luffy's crew. So all of those guys are main characters in Luffy's crew, but the main character is Luffy. So we want his story, Zorro's story, Nami's story, Usopp's story, all these guys to have a proper storyline that makes sense. But with Shanks, you can play a little bit more, okay? Even if he is the father figure of Luffy, or even if he is the mentor figure of Luffy, he is the Gandalf, the Dumbledore in storytelling. He is, in the hero's journey, the someone who is inspiring the main character, supporting the main character, and helping the main character to do the first steps. He's the person who always gives the magical aid, basically. And this, in this case, is the Gomu Gomu, the Nika fruit, okay? So, I think Shanks had everything planned. I think Shanks talked with Shamrock and told him the truth, or tried to utilize him, and he fell for it, in one way or another, in a good way or in a bad way. And then, probably, how he can be in 2 places at the same time, because he wasn't in 2 places at the same time. I think he was close to Marineford, because we see him in Marineford with his full crew. Very, very epic image. And what happens there is... is calling. Oh, hey, brother, it's me, Shanks. What are you doing? Everything okay? Yes, I'm here, chilling with Dad. Okay, would you mind just to go to Wano, around Wano, and put a hood something, so they don't know who you are, because obviously this is secret. This is continuing my plan that I want you to help me to, you know, rearrange and reform the world government and be good, and because I know some truths from the world because of Roger. Can you just go there, stop Kaido from coming my way, because I need to stop the war, but I don't want to stop it yet. First, I need Whitebeard to die, you know. First, I think, this is what I'm thinking, okay? First, maybe, you know I have some information that I gather that probably Blackbeard is going to be coming as well to do something. I don't know what exactly. I want to see what he's going to do. And Shamrock says, yo bro, no problem, I am going to do this for you. Are you coming here on Sunday for lunch or something? And he's like, oh no, don't worry, I can't do it now because I have business here, for example, no? And then he's like, can you actually, by the way, as well, just put the hood on, go to the Gorusei, and tell them that certain thing about that certain pirate I told you some time ago, okay? Because I think now is the moment that you can say these things, okay? Don't worry, bro, I'm gonna do this for you, no problem. And then Shamrock is doing what Shanks is asking without questioning, because the brotherhood that they have, the sibling concept, the connection that they have there, the missing the brother, the discovering of a new brother, he's like, oh yeah, I'm game, I am gonna help you no matter what. I know this may be far-fetched, this may be not true, or irrelevant even for the story, but I'm gonna tell you something else. If Shamrock is this bad, very bad guy, super bad guy, when in Elbaf, at the beginning of Elbaf, that Shamrock shows up and Gunko, and they go to talk with Loki, and you know they punch him a little bit, they push him a little bit to say yes. They want to invite him to become a god's knight, okay? And then basically Loki says, there is no way I'm gonna join you. You are like scum, you know, like scumbags. You are rats, basically. And Shamrock is like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. Anyway, bye. Obviously Gunko hits him a little bit and everything, but that's it. Nothing else happens. So if you are the baddest of the baddest, and you are horribly crazy and the boss basically of the bad guys, with this kind of epic lineage in the world government, etc., why are you not killing Loki? Why are you not killing Loki? Oh no, because maybe Loki is an ancient weapon, or maybe because Loki is the main character of this saga, blah blah blah. Okay, why don't you cut an arm? Why don't you cut a leg? Why don't you wound him very gravely, you know, very in deep, so he is not able to perform for the other side, okay? Because who was the one who tied him to the tree? Shanks. How does Shamrock knows that Loki is tied there in hell, at the very bottom? Because Shanks told him. Because Shanks told him, tell him, go there, talk with Loki, and you are one good guy working for me. Probably Gunko is in the middle of this as well. We will talk about Gunko in another video. I already have some ideas about Gunko that I mentioned before, but not relevant here. But maybe there are other people involved in this, let's say, plot against Imu and against the world government. Why I'm saying this as well? Because as you can see in 1168, we see that King Harald is being controlled. He's trying to resist. He doesn't have much energy, and he's asking probably the other guys to, you know, now you can come and kill me and call my kid, because he's the only one who can kill me. But we have all of these things going on. We know that there is some certain level of resistance that you can do for a little bit, and then you can't resist because you are like manipulated, like Rox was manipulated. To have Dominaversi or not Dominaversi, while you are some sort of having a contract with Imu, having some dealings with Imu, as I said many times before, these contracts are binding, are giving you powers, are giving you some darkness in you, and that's how Imu was able to kill Saturn in Egghead. It was just, he said, just, you know, you are not performing okay for me, I'm just gonna just gonna eliminate you, okay? And at that level, when you have that type of connection with Imu, there is no way, there is no possible way that you can escape this control. So she or he is gonna suck your energy, is gonna drain you completely empty and absorb you again, okay? So you become a skeleton, you die completely here, okay? So Loki should have had some sort of punishment or, you know, pressure, extra pressure for not wanting to join. It didn't happen because he's good. Then there is a second instance. There is another instance where we see the guys, these guys, showing up on the top of Elbaf, where Usopp, Nami, blah, 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 all of the rest of the guys are there. And then Shamrock is called, and they say, oh, you know, Imu, Imu says, oh, you know, Marejua is a sea of fire. You have to come back. Probably because he's the strongest. You have to come back. And he is so strong that he could have killed someone. He could have wounded someone and take him out of the saga. Let's say he's not gonna kill anyone because we don't want a Straw Hat to die. But I'm gonna do line work now, okay? Let's say Faranki, fatally wounded, let's say, for example. Why not? Why not? You want him to learn something about history? He can learn about history while he's wrapped like Zorro in the previous saga. You know, why not? Then, why would you leave? Why would you leave without doing anything? Are you sure that they can survive Gunko and you don't have to worry much about it? Yes, I think he knows. He's tracking because obviously his brother is giving him information. That is my opinion. I think he knows the Straw Hats are strong. They can handle Gunko. Maybe not Frankie, but as soon as Zorro comes, or Sanji comes, or Luffy comes, they should be able to, in one way or another, be able to hold her. Okay? All of this, in my opinion, completely honest, looks weird. Looks some sort of a plan, very well thought, and the gamer here, the strategist, it is Shanks. There is no doubt in my mind for the time being, even if Oda shows us the contrary now. Well, if Oda shows us the contrary now, I'm mistaken here. But for the time being, for me, Shamrock is good. I cannot comprehend either how there is some options of out there of commentary of Shanks. Maybe Shanks is bad, actually. I cannot fathom that. I cannot see that in my mind. There is things that needs to happen. Shanks is Roger's legacy. All of this, let's go back a little bit now, because we can't talk about one without talking about the other one, okay? Let's just go back one moment when in the timeline where Roger comes back from discovering the reality of the world, the secrets of the world. He has become now, from now on, he's going to be called the Pirate King, and he decides to disband the crew, okay? We are in that moment, and he has a chat when all of this is happening. He has a chat with Shanks, and Shanks cries. What do you think? What do you think, before I say anything, what do you think he is telling the kid here? I want you to write it in the comment there, and we can discuss all different opinions. In my opinion, here, Roger already told Shanks, your father is this guy, Garling, and Garling is a very bad guy, okay? And we don't need to know that he has a brother or he doesn't have a brother, okay? That is irrelevant for this moment. But I think there he says, you know, I have discovered the reality of the world, and Your family, yes, they are trash from generations and generations and generations. 900 years ago, they were already in place and they were trash. I'm sorry about that. No need to cry. I raised you here with my guys. I think you have a good soul. I think you're a good kid. You can write your own destiny. You don't have to become a marijuana guy, a god's knight. You don't have to become the king of the pirates. You just need to be yourself. Do whatever you want. Just be happy. Travel the world. Sail around the world with buggy, with no buggy, with whatever you want. You are not tied to anyone. I think the parallelism between Roger and Luffy is getting more and more clear as we grow into the story and we reach the end of the story. Before, at the beginning of the story, Roger was more aggressive, was more having more rough tones like browns, purples. Here is more pinky color, yellowish color. Is more happy. Is more like Luffy. Before he was scary. Now he is a happy guy like Luffy, a normal guy. Okay. And I think that is very important for whatever he said, whatever happens in that conversation, that is very important. Maybe this is not the, response that you want to hear. Maybe you want a conversation there telling him, oh no, you are not the next pirate king, or no, we can't do it in our time, and you are not you are not gonna become whoever you want, because we don't know actually if Shanks at that early age had aspirations of becoming the pirate king. We know that Boggy wanted him to become the next pirate king and be like Roger. We knew that, but this is all about expectations. Did actually Shanks want that? We don't know. It's never been confirmed. He's saying now, Beck, let's go and claim the One Piece. He wants the One Piece, okay? He wants the One Piece. Why? He wants the One Piece because he needs to be some sort of guardian, gatekeeper. There is this brotherhood parallelism with the brother, okay? What fruit or what ability the sword of Shanks is having? The Cerberus, the Kerberus, okay? So who is Cerberus? He is the guardian of the underworld, okay? So Shanks and Shamrock go by the hand. Anything that may define one, it has, in my opinion, to define the other one up to certain level. There are things in character design. This is something that you do when you are an artist who creates characters for a story, a movie, a comic, and for everything in general. There are things that you do. You do like a mood board with some notes. Let's say redhead, elegant, swordsman, swords with power, serious, radical. You write words about the character in general, and then you define who is the character is going to be, okay? And then that's going to help you as well to create the outfit like we are doing here, etc., etc. So why is that important? That is important because sometimes when you are creating this, there are some traits that maybe I can't make Shamrock happy, because if I make Shamrock happy, smiley, it's gonna break some other rules that I already put in this pattern for my character. But who could be extra happy, extra drunk, extra joyful? Shanks. Shanks drinking, being a pirate, hee ha ha, joking with Mihawk. When someone is gonna go for him, he wants to celebrate, blah blah blah. So is the counterpart. Let's say the counterpart here. So it is, if you think about it, it is very important. There is a contrast there. And as well plays with the concept of brothers as well, of being similar looking but different characters. I know it's a lot of information. I know it is crazy to maybe just suppose that we are having this conversation, or maybe this is a reality that may happen. I know it's very crazy, but I just want you to be open-minded in this aspect, because with Oda is all about surprises. It's all about unexpected, the unexpected, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So for me, to assume that someone is bad or someone is good at this point of the story, it will be a mistake. It will be a tremendous mistake. And remember the words of a very clever guy called Vegapunk before he died in this video call that he had, saying, not everyone is good and not everyone is bad, okay? So there is gonna be a lot of gray areas everywhere. And this may be one of these gray areas. Shanks himself is a gray area at the moment until his real reasoning and the motive behind what he's doing is revealed. We will be speculating. We will be speculating what is he going to be doing, blah, 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 blah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have to say, I am enjoying One Piece lately so much. All the lore that is being dropped, all the information, the lore is basically the information. All of these things are incredible. I have been waiting like 30 years, like 20 years to see what is what. Why is this happening and why is this not happening? And I cannot wait to see more and more of this information. I guess there are some fans like me here that they have been following the One Piece story for many years as well, and they are feeling very similar of how I feel. And I invite you as well to express your emotions and your feelings or your disappointments, because there may be some things that you've seen that you don't like at all in One Piece, or you were expecting it in another way. Okay, I have some as well that we can discuss in another moment, in another video. But there are things that I don't like or I didn't like. But most of the time I agree with Oda's decisions, and if I don't agree, sometimes he ends up twisting the story in a way that I say, now it makes sense. So I find it very interesting. I think he's a master of storytelling, and it is something that any kind of artist, doesn't need to be a comic artist, but any kind of artist in general who is able to look at him with the respect that he deserves, it can learn a lot from Oda's work. It is incredible, and obviously open to debate. Someone may not agree with me, but this is just my opinion as a long-term fan of the series. Okay, now I think we have more or less all the drawing done. We done the nice hair and everything. I said at the beginning I want to draw him happy, smiley, because the theory. Okay, maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe he's gonna be a very bad guy. And there is a lot of people that wants a fight between Shanks and Luffy. At some point, Luffy says, "Oh, my punches are gonna be like guns, and I'm gonna be blah blah blah," and Shanks is like, "Haha, yeah, whatever." And I never liked the idea of this fight. I always thought before Luffy meets with Shanks properly again, before Luffy has a chance to return the hat, Shanks needs to be killed by Blackbeard, okay? To create the tension and to create the disenchantment, like, oh my god, he's not going to be able to fulfill that promise. And that needs to happen. That is peak storytelling. That is emotional restraint for a character in storytelling and in world building. So that needs to happen. Okay, I think Luffy and Zoro, that they are the most time screen characters in One Piece. They should have these restraints. So I think with the whole concept of Blackbeard, to create a connection with Blackbeard, this has to happen, okay? So all of these people saying, oh my god, you know, I would love Shanks to fight Luffy. well, Shanks is a swordsman, Luffy is not a swordsman. I don't think we're gonna see this kind of matchup either. Oh, then Zoro is gonna fight Shanks. Zoro has no business fighting Shanks because his idea is to fight the best swordsman in the world. That, as far as we know, is Mihawk. But as I say in 1,000 videos as well, that is gonna be Vista. That Vista is currently disappeared. That Vista is gonna have the diamond fruit, and he is the only one who we have seen clash with Mihawk, and they had to postpone the duel. Okay, so yeah, I think that is a very interesting plot there. If I can put the video here, I will put the video here, but as you can see, there is a lot of concept there to be developed. Okay, a lot of people may disagree, probably because this is something that it will create controversy, but I think from the point of view of storyteller and world builder, it has to happen. It has to happen. So what Oda can do instead is, I'm gonna make sure to drop a Shamrock there in the middle so Zoro can fight, or at least clash. I'm gonna be sure to maybe Luffy try to punch him and then realize that, ooh, actually this is not Shanks, this is another guy, and have a little bit of a fight there with the whole crew. That may happen. That may be one of these moments that when he's revealed to Luffy to be a royal, let's say, someone of high stance in the government, and Luffy is like, what are you talking about? And then Luffy can have like a crisis of identity there, a little bit, like a little bit of emotional conflict, saying, ooh, what are you talking about? That you have been lying to me the whole time? I don't think Luffy will care much about other type of lives that Shanks may have had, or from where Shanks may come. He will live only with the experiences that he lived with Shanks, that, oh, I love Shanks because how he behaved with me and how I see him, not because, this and that, or because whatever, royalty. That is very Luffy, but it could happen, okay? So I know, as I said before, this is a lot of information, but I want to know your opinion. I want to know what you think about this Shamrock kind of conflict, like mental conflict that we may have in the story. If you think that this is a possibility as well, maybe you are in complete disagreement to what I'm saying here, but I wanna understand why is that, and how we can discuss it, and yeah. I didn't want to do a video of analysis today. I realized in the channel that I am doing a lot of analysis lately, and I parked a little bit the concept of theories lately. I am doing theories within the analysis, yes, and that is all connected. I am analyzing the episode page by page, but obviously this is another way of working, let's say, another way of drawing and talking at the same time. So I thought it would be a nice idea to talk about this today. I made a post on YouTube, I believe it was Tuesday night. I made a post already about this. I don't know if people is talking about the possibility of Shamrock being good. Probably someone already as well thought about this, because there is two options here, 50-50, or he is good or he is bad. And I'm just trying I'm trying to say why I think, in my opinion, he is good. I said it as well in the previous analysis, because all of this is connecting, obviously, that I do think while Shanks was an apprentice, a God Knight apprentice, while he is trying to convince the brother or deceive the brother and trying to trick the father and everything, I think he had to do some bad things. He may have had to give away some information about someone, kill even someone, to pretend, to play pretend for the greater good. There is, in all the stories, you have some kind of character that is this type of character that needs to sacrifice himself, like Gandalf fighting the Balrog to be upgraded, let's say, to be leveled up. Gandalf, if you are a fan of Lord of the Rings as well, you will know that Gandalf, when we are in the mines of Moria, and they are chased by the Balrog. The Balrog traps him in a passage, in a moment that there is a breach, and Gandalf faces him. And Gandalf is, in theory, if you have a little bit of knowledge of Lord of the Rings lore, he is a Maiar that is the same rank in a spirit, like in a being of a Balrog. So they are kind of matched there. And because this fight, because this clash, Gandalf ends up sacrificing himself and leveling up later to become Gandalf the White. So this is something similar, I think, that may happen here. Shanks may have sacrificed his integrity, some of his values, to the greater good of getting the information that he needed, getting the connection with Shamrock that he needed to be able to go forward and to carry on with the plan. Okay, this is the same, like, and maybe not intentionally, like Gandalf doesn't want to die, obviously, but he knows that he needs to do this sacrifice. Shanks is, for me, in my opinion, a strategist and someone who is gonna sacrifice himself so Luffy can carry on. He needs to die. He needs to die close to Luffy. Luffy needs to see it. I foresee, and there is a video in my channel about Davy back fight, that if I can find it, I will put it here, or I will put it in the show more section down below. But there is a proposal of Davy back fight. I'm saying there that it needs to happen, with all the Davy Jones lore that has been dropped lately with rocks. And that is involving Blackbeard, Shanks, Luffy, Cross Guild, Buggy. These guys need to see, Buggy needs to see how Shanks is killed. I think if we can manage to have Buggy to be this kind of guinea pig in the sense of or this one with the trauma. So if he's the one to see Shanks dying by Blackbeard's hand, this can be better, I think, for the plot of the story, because then Buggy will have more importance, and Buggy will have to convey this info, this bad news to Luffy. Luffy will get very upset, obviously, and yeah. But if you think about it, Buggy is Shanks' brother. Okay, and we don't know how long they were together, because we don't know yet at what point Buggy joined Roger. Oda just very like subtle, like nothing happened. He just dropped Buggy in the latest episode together with Shanks on the Nika pose, doing the Nika pose. That is very important. So there is a lot of importance with the pose nowadays, and the pose is not random. So we don't know at what point Buggy joined. We don't know how, in what terms of conditions. I still think he is connected to greatness as well. I think he is connected to Blackbeard. He is connected to Imu. He is connected to everything, and he will definitely become King of the Pirates and King of the World for a briefly period of time. I completely think that's gonna happen, but I want to know your opinion about this as well, because it's very, the world is divided in this aspect as well. Okay, so far I'm happy with the drawing. I'm just adding a little bit of color now, and most of the drawing is black. I'm trying to follow the pattern, or a similar pattern as seen in the cover story from a couple of weeks ago. And the cover story, the color spread of a couple of weeks ago. That is Shamrock with a darker suit, the darker kind of elegant suit. Some of the points, important points, are gonna be yellow, and then the gloves are red. As you can see, with color theory, Oda is not playing the contrary 100%. He is playing the same pattern with the reds that we have with Shanks, so this can be very interesting. So we set reds there, we set yellows, okay, Maybe the other one is a little bit darker, a little bit nicer, I would say, like this. Yes, I like this one more. Even you can understand why I like it so much. It is very tiny. That means I've been using it a lot, so I ate it all. So all these ribbons and things and textures and flouritures that you have around, all these decorations, very Victorian type of suit, a very elegant type of suit. I like it. I like how stylish these guys are, and it's very gold, so probably these are gold pieces actually and everything, so very interesting. The sword as well, same here. The swords, as I said at the beginning, I do not see them changed. I think this is turquoise color. I'm gonna see if I can do I have like some sort of turquoise here? I do have this one, that what we can do is paint it like this, and then add a little bit of darker tone like this. Yeah, exactly. And then we do the lines afterwards. It's pretty similar to the one that Shanks has. We don't know in what terms and conditions Shanks got it. The rest of the piece is gonna be white. The trousers are white as well. I wanna play a little bit with this here, here, here. All of these with yellows. Okay. And yeah, we done another color scheme that you can see in that video. I put that before as well, and where that looks a little bit different. Okay, but we cannot guess how he's gonna be looking. So we know that the shirts are normally being white. They are kind of being as well like pirate time white. So I'm gonna leave it white. I'm just gonna add a little bit of color here to the chest, like this, with the browns, and to the face as well, to the like this. Okay, I don't need to paint fully the skin. I like when I do a little bit of tones like this. Then with the black I can add a little bit of tones as well. In the color spread there is a very kind of interesting blue that I think we can go for something similar here. We should understand that this should be the same color pattern. Even if he is changing outfits, he should have the same color pattern like this. I need to do another pass with a darker blue. Interesting colors. I like it. Some of them I don't like, maybe because they are too colorful. I liked more the old style designs for the characters, where you don't have all these depictions of colors so remarked. I think I need to do as well a blue pass in the inside of the cloak. Normally I will add in a second a little bit of dark to not leave it blue inside, but it works for what we want to do here today, for the concept of the cape. Okay, I'm enjoying a lot doing the videos. I wanted to say that as well in the channel today. Thanks everyone that has been subscribing. We are going up slowly. We are around 200 subscribers. Thanks a lot. That it's a milestone there. That's a round number, and I appreciate it. I think, yeah, I don't want to stop doing videos. Even if when One Piece is finished, I don't want to stop. So I just want to talk about One Piece, express how I feel, do some theories, do some drawings that I love before doing the YouTube channel. I think I haven't actually I haven't actually drawn One Piece characters as such. Maybe I done one or two drawings at some point, but I haven't actually drawn the characters as such. Like now I have like, I don't know, so many fan arts here in the channel, and so many caricatures of some of them as well. At some point as well I was thinking about today doing this as well, like doing maybe just the face of Shamrock and the face of Shanks as caricature as well. If that is something that you may be, I don't know, interested on seeing, and we can do shorter videos for that. It could be as well like this. So it's not about theory, it's just maybe about something specific, or just maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, talk about something specific. It could be done as well. I need to test to see if I can just comprise it into that aspect, and that's it. But it can be done, okay? And Yeah, so this kind of will avoid me, because I don't like to repeat characters drawings. I don't want to draw two Shamrock. Even if I already drawn a previous Shamrock with the outfit, I didn't draw the young Shamrock, so I'm trying to do a different one. So if I can avoid there that concept, let's say, by just I don't know, doing caricatures instead, smaller drawings, and the face, maybe like chibi as well. I don't know, something like this. It could be interesting. Okay, so feel free as well to drop in the comment section if you want to see something like this or not. And yeah, I could start a collection of this type of drawings as well, like a tiny collection, okay, like caricatures, one piece caricatures, or something like that. It could be nice. Let's do like this. I want to know your opinion and your views in Shanks and Shamrock, the possibility of a connection there, and the possibility of, because why? Think about it. What I said at the beginning. Why would Shanks go, spend some time, leave, and then not have consequences? Why haven't they hunted him? Because he's a royal from one of the main families? I doubt it. Okay, when all these things happen with Homin, that's Doflamingo's father, that he decided to leave, as with good heart, with good faith, he decided to leave, and then he wanted to come back, because not because of him, because his family was being just basically chased to get killed, basically, and he begged, and they said, there is no chance you come back. I think there are different, this is a different tier of Tenryubito. These guys are, let's say, a lower rank in the Tenryubitos, and they can just do other type of things, but for these guys, these guys have more freedom. Okay, these families, these maybe 5, go to say 13, those who have the deep sea mark, as we understand of the deep sea mark, and the chosen ones, that's God's Knights and Gorusei, those probably have more freedom, can do more things, and if they travel, they move around, they do some kind of bad things or silly things, they are maybe a little bit more okay to do the things, and they can manage it in another way, I think. And that's why Imu is the one who will end up just giving justice to one or the other, okay? I like a lot the drawing today. It's looking very One Piece type of Shamrock. The character is very nice. This mouth that I've done reminds me a little bit as well to Nami in one of the cover stories. Very nice. It's sweet face. I wanted to draw Shamrock sweet to kind of convey that I think he is good. I think he is playing as well his role like the brother, and they are pretending to be bad guys. And just to recap quick, what I kind of propose in here is, I think during the time that Shanks was in Marijoa, he connected very nice with the brother. The brother maybe didn't even know that he had a brother. It was like something he has never been told. They connected very nicely. Shanks saw light in him, and he said, I want to think that he saw light in him, and he said, I'm going to add you to my plan, and you're going to be working for me, doing this and this. And he said, yes, brother. I don't want to think that he's deceiving the brother. Okay, I want to keep my opinion clean of Shanks being a good guy. And if he's a good guy, he's a good guy, and he should say the good thing to the brother, the truth to the brother, and say, yeah, I am here because, I am trying to stop everything. Please, I need your help. I feel connected to you. I feel this brotherhood. I felt as well that I had a brother somewhere, and now I found you. From the bottom of his heart, probably. And that's what I would like. That's what I would like. If Oda says, oh, Shanks is just tricking and decorating everything for everyone, even the family, I will accept it as well. It can work very nice as well, okay? But what I would like personally is that Shanks within the cleverness. He was honest to the brother, and the brother believed him, and the brother is helping him because he is kind of a reformed man, a fixed man, okay? He doesn't want to help Garling anymore. He's just playing in the shadows his cards to help the brother properly. And yeah, that's why he didn't kill Loki when Loki didn't accept. That's why he didn't kill Usopp and the rest of the guys when he showed up on the Elbaf plateau where the school and everything is. And yeah, that's why he is kind of a mystery. If he was gonna be bad, you would have seen him doing bad things already. Like we have seen Garling being, you know, the executioner of the other Terrorito and everything in the other saga. When we have seen Saturn and, you know, all these guys have been putting out hatred all the time and hatred speech. Shamrock, you see, I see him in a different light. And I think that is what happened. Obviously, again, and once again, all of this may be wrong. I may be mistaken here, but I would like it very much. I don't want to think that someone is bad, and someone is good and is good. I want to think there is twists in storylines, and I wanna see Shanks being very clever as per the movement that he's been doing. In 1168 we see that he disappeared. We see that because he disappeared, this is 14 years ago, we see him as well talking with Rayleigh. We see that because of that, Harald is invited to become then a God's Knight, and all the repercussions that happen in 1168 that we can talk in another day. I think I was thinking about drawing Ida today or drawing Shamrock, and I decided to go for Shamrock. But we can talk about all the repercussions there. But basically, he was tricked. Everyone is tricked by Imu. Everyone is manipulated by Imu, and they know it. They know it in one range or another. As soon as King Harald realized that he was being manipulated and forced to do something that he didn't want to do, all of them probably had the same experiences. All of them have been manipulated. All of them have some sort of dream of becoming free from Imu. You had to be very, very retorted, very, very bad, very, very rotten inside and bad to follow those commands without any kind of second thought. And I think it's going to be important going forward. Something I want to note before I finish, because I finished the drawing and I just stopped drawing here. Something I want to note, very important, is, and very funny, is that we see Umid is one of the lords of the dark, you know, underlords from the black market that we meet in Big Mom Saga. He is selling wood from Elbaf. That is Adam's tree. Adam's tree wood that is rarely comes into the world, and this is something that is matching in the timeline from the theory that we done about Scopper Gaban being the one who is cutting pieces of wood to have a little bit of coin and giving it away. This is 14 years ago, 15 years ago, when Gaban was already there, when Shanks met with Gaban. So Gaban's business is already on the go, like Rayleigh is coating in Shabondi. Gaban is selling the Adam pieces here and there in the black market, and Umid seems to be the one moving it around for him. That is very nice, and I want more information in that. I want to know more things about that, and I just wanted to mention that detail from the episode. But as you can see, we finished. We are gonna sign for today. We're gonna sign here in the side, okay? This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23. You can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed the drawing, the theory. Shamrock is good. Someone who tells the brother, just wait to move until you heal your scar in your eye, is worried about the brother. It cannot be a bad guy. Shamrock is working with Shanks, working for Shanks, and if Feel free to share it with your friends, with your nakamas, with your family, and with anyone who may be interested in One Piece or in art. There's a lot of things in the channel that you can send to your friends to see. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.